ナマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーツサマンダーブセムヒシムジョドシガンフ満足性上昇学が無料公院大摂取不採小便具性不上昇学し上道明書定時法苦境未証門政府少女学利欲人少年上映中盆行 上真無無常大小天因心人力現代公不正無才道正常三苦妙高祭主役難愛知縁名主根門安閉塞小悪道つら全主門高僧上満足エロジポ日願自自経典根不言主増高世苦毒法上内周知世法死死苦苦用一切仏具足修徳本願念心情満徳意三愛を女仏無下知通断未不正感覚力とし最小尊心願や国家大戦王感動国書天人がに 平等正祭道法无那一心我就那Namanda, Tsamanda, 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 Tsamanda. Please join me in Gasho. To reveal with reverence the true realization, it is the wondrous state attained through Amida's perfect benefiting of others. It is the ultimate fruition of supreme nirvana. It arises from the vow of necessary attainment of nirvana, also known as the vow of realization of great nirvana. When foolish beings possessed of blind passions, the multitudes caught in birth and death and defiled by evil karma, realize the mind and practice that Amida directs to them for their growth, for their going forth, they immediately join the truly settled of Mahayana. Because they dwell among the truly settled, they necessarily attain nirvana. To necessarily attain is to attain eternal bliss. Eternal bliss is ultimate tranquility. Tranquility is supreme nirvana, and supreme nirvana is uncreated Dharma body. Uncreated Dharma body is true reality. True reality is Dharma nature. Dharma nature is suchness. Suchness is oneness. Amida Tathagata comes forth from suchness and manifests various bodies, fulfilled, accommodated, and transformed. Nam-mandats, 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 nam-mandats. Well, good morning, everyone. I realize that the Gosandai was a bit long today, but since we are celebrating Ohigan at the Tacoma Buddhist Temple this weekend, I felt it was appropriate to quote the opening passage of the chapter on realization, or even the chapter on enlightenment from Shindan Shonin's Kyogyo Shinsho. For those of you who might have forgotten, when we say Ohigan, it means other shore. It symbolizes the crossing of this shore of samsara, or the realm of suffering, to the realm of enlightenment. In Japan, many schools of Buddhism celebrate this time by doing enlightened activities, such as eating a vegetarian diet for the week, sitting in front of their obutsudan for an hour chanting a sutra, visiting temples and listening to Dharma talks, and the list goes on. It also resembles the time of changing of the season, when summer becomes autumn and winter becomes spring. So what do we as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists do? Do we go on a vegetarian diet for a week? Well, some may. However, there is no written doctrinal guide that we have to do that. However, if you do wish to go on a vegetarian diet because it is healthier, then more power to you. Do we perpetually chant in front of our obutsudans, reading Amida-kyo over and over again, or Shoshinge? Well, personally, I would love to see that. However, it is not a good idea right now, due to the pandemic, for me to enter into all your homes. Also, there is no written creed or rule for Jodo Shinshu Buddhists to adhere to that tradition either. So what do we do? Well, our head temple clearly has its traditions and rituals it performs during this time. If you are able to attend any of these services while visiting Japan, I highly recommend it. It is a great opportunity. You can hear some amazing chanting, just like the Juseige Rikyoku style that I performed today, only much, much better. Or Shandao's Hanjusan, and see bright colored cloths on the Naijin, just like the Mizuhiki and the Uchishiki that you see here. I'll have to add a picture in later on, so while I'm saying this, I'll add a picture in. Since we are not at our head temple, however, what can we as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists in America do during this time? Well, my suggestion is to deeply reflect on our interdependence with everyone and everything. One of the concepts of Mahayana Buddhism teaches us is no self, or the emptiness of the self. This is a very difficult concept that I cannot cover entirely in a Dharma talk. However, the concept teaches that there truly is no difference inherently between each other. Now, while this is nice to know, and it's wonderful that Buddhism teaches us this concept, how many of us human beings really think this way? I'm assuming not a lot. Going back to our teachings, we are taught again and again that we are these imperfect and foolish beings dwelling constantly in this state of doubt, greed, anger, and ignorance. And yet, yes, there is an and yet coming, Amida embraces all of us just the same. When I say this, it is natural to think of a parent embracing their child. For many, this image of a mother embracing her child or a father embracing their child with unconditional love is a good representation of how Amida embraces us. Coming to the realization of this, how can we not bow our heads with a deep sense of gratitude towards Amida Buddha and realize that as imperfect as we may be, Amida embraces all beings without any hesitation and without any discrimination. But what does this mean on a practical level? On a more practical level, this means that despite our shortcomings, we also have access to the realm of enlightenment. Not only that, but the realm of enlightenment is acting at this very moment to benefit us right now. In Jodo Shinshu, coming to this realization that all we do is fully rely solely on the working of the other power of Amida, then it states that once this is fully realized, we also share the benefit of enlightened activity in being truly settled. For many traditions across Japan, it is a time of great working and hard practice, so that those who walk the path of self-practice or self-power practice can add some more merit to their karma. People will go on these long pilgrimages and hike up Mount Hiei and visit as many temples as they can to gain access to the Dharma and maybe even enlightenment. Well, for us as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, the working is already working for us. Amida embraces us nonstop. Amida is always with us, regardless of the time or place. Again, we need to be careful on how we interpret this phrasing, because I am not stating that we should think of Amida as this deity who prevents us from having bad luck or from protecting us from physical bodily harm. So I'm not saying that when you entrust yourself to Amida that your next lottery ticket is going to be the winner, or that you can drive really fast in your car and that nothing bad will happen to you. I am not saying that. What I am saying is that when we come to these realizations of our interdependence and the fact that largely our self, or the idea of ourselves is part of a much larger picture. That realization of self that realization actually is coming from the Pure Land and the realm of enlightenment. As human beings, we want instant gratification. I want the Pure Land right now. I want to be enlightened right now. I want this. I want that. I want. Yet, during this time of Ohigan, since we are talking about the other shore of enlightenment, perhaps we once again turn towards the image of Amida Buddha and bow our heads in reverence and realize that we are part of a much larger picture. Amida's wisdom and compassion continue to work for our benefit. Amida's light breaks through the darkness of ignorance. How wondrous it is. Thank you very much for joining us today on our last Sunday service for September. I cannot believe it. And once again, I would like to thank the Tacoma Buddhist Temple, the Sangha members, and everyone in the community for welcoming us with open arms. In closing, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Nam Manda 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 Butsu. To conclude this service, I would like to read Shōnin Nichiryu Sho by Rennyo Shōnin. Shōnin Nichiryu no gokanke no omomuki wa shinjin no motte hon to serare soro. Sono yue wa moromoro no zōgyō o nagesutete isshin ni mida ni kimyō sureba. 不可思議の眼力として仏の方より往生は事情せしめたも。そのくらいを一年ぽっき入症状始終とも釈し、その上の称名念仏った如来我が往生を定めたまいし、ご恩法人の念仏と心べきなり、アナカシコ、アナカシコ。